Paul.
Yes.
I think I might have fixed cinemas.
Oh?
You know, all of those things we were talking about that bugged us? I've figured out, all you need to do is sit really near the fucking front. You know how most cinemas have, not the aisle, but like the corridor bit? Like that separates the first 5 or so rows from the rest? Yeah. Go sit yourself in the back row of that front bit. No asshole can reach your chair to kick it. You can't see anybody's phone, unless you get one tiny old man who comes and sits in front of you and gets his out, like an absolute prick.
The blindest arsehole alive.
But even then, you're so far forward, no one can see you brutally murder him to death with that phone.
Yeah, this is true.
I saw Ralph Breaks the Internet today at 4:30, and there were kids in there, one of whom decided to just narrate the film. But he was so far behind me that it was just like someone had left a door open and there was a nursery somewhere in the county.
It's almost surround sound for the film.
I could just hear his stupid mind getting blown, and that was it.
Plus, in boxing, they're the expensive seats, so there's a certain sort of hoity air to it that you'll appreciate.
I might get hit by the blood here. The cinematic blood.
From the man you murdered.
Podcast that would like to offer their condolences on your nephew burning to death in that terrible accident. I'm Paul Salt.
I'm not going to say that word yet.
Oh yeah, there you go. I immediately went to some of the worst, the harsher racial ones. I was like, what are you doing this time? What have you got? What have you done this time, you fucking arsehole?
Come on, Paul, let's not do fascism again.
We are one step closer on the road to our 100th episode, and we are resolutely tackling the very worst films ever made to find those golden bricks because of that road metaphor I made at the beginning of the sentence. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember?
Brilliant.
You're going to do fine here.
Thank Christ, though, because 100th episode is the save point.
Jesus Christ, if we
lose it before then.
All over. 100 hours. All over again. This week, it's not Avatar, The Last Airbender.
You are the last of your kind. All that remains of a once powerful nation.
Hey, this voiceover isn't in the movie.
I knew you were real. I always knew you returned.
You are the only one who can bring balance to a world at war. But some will stop at nothing to destroy you.
M. Night Shyamalan's Shyamalan. Shyamalan. Shyamalan.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Shyamalan. M. Night Shyamalan's adaptation of the Nickelodeon kids television show about benders.
Great, what a sentence.
Shyamalan got involved because his kids loved the show, so he thought, we'll fucking see about that.
Enjoy it while it lasts, sun shines.
Oh, I can't watch the news. You want to watch your cartoon show? All right, then. Dad. And he came back 9 months later.
Oh, it's like giving birth to Udo Kier.
He eats your face, calls your mother once, and then you never see him again. It's beautiful. It's the circle of life. And then he gives birth to you.
Oh, no. Circles of life. The sequel, Udo Kier 2.
Udo Kier 2. The afterlife.
Leave me alone, you vultures. Brilliant, Udo. Say it again.
He's so entertaining.
I'm not really a confident, aggressive person. This is the real Udo Kier.
I don't enjoy this memification of my life. I am not a frightening man. Look at my child. And his child is just him, but tiny.
Never mind. Look at this painting, and it's just his child. But even more Udo Kier. Udo Kier. That's his son's name, Udo Kier.
And it zooms out to reveal he just pointed at his own cheek where the painting is painted onto.
These are all bad examples. Fuck me, the film.
The film was heavily derided by critics, the public, and us eventually. Spoiler alert.
Ooh.
Cliff Dorkson, writing for Chicago Reader.
Oh! Sorry, that's great.
You leave Mr. Dorkson alone, sir. Cliff!
Sorry, I feel like such a jock.
There's nothing you can do with that name, though. Figures you might. Sporkson? Fuck! It's too much. I'm overwhelmed. I'll bully you tomorrow. I can't do this. What's wrong, son? There's a kid in my class called Cliff Dorkson. Oh, I see. All my years of bullying have come to this. If I can't make this work, then what kind of bully am I, Mother? Look at me! The current national priorities should be as follows. Reduce carbon emissions and stop funding the films of M. Night Shyamalan. It's good prioritising there.
Yeah. Work on your order, though, mate.
I imagine getting rid of M. Night Shyamalan might reduce carbon emissions.
As he's the only director who shoots in his hometown, I don't know if that's a good plan. You really want to go to the people who shoot the Bond movies or the Bourne movies.
Who specifically goes to the most vulnerable places on
Somalia.
Earth.
Yeah.
In order to shoot their petrol at it. I really think this iceberg would look better on fire. Okay, Mr. Day. You know it's the last one.
Well, we better make it a good fire then.
Yeah, great. Michael O'Sullivan, writing for the Washington Post, said, playing a hero who's meant to be something akin to the young Dalai Lama, Ringer, the actor, brings less than zero gravitas to the role. He makes the kid who plays Gibby on iCarly look like Sir Lawrence Olivier. Now, I thought that was a glib reference, but then I went back and watched an episode of iCarly, and it was all, very much, oh my god, that kind of thing. But then this fucking kid comes on. He's like, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Hello, Gibby.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's Gibby. What are you doing here? Oh my god, he's so oh fuck, what's the name of that acting coach everyone bangs on about?
Stanislavski.
Yeah. He's so pre-Stanislavski. I'm just projecting! Fucking Gibby.
Oh, fucking Gibby. I'm glad you explained some of that, because so much of that sentence didn't make sense. Gibby, iCarly, Laurence Olivier.
What are the kids into these days? So
spinning a hula hoop and quoting Richard III, if that's the one that Laurence Olivier did.
Probably. Carl Adams, writing for Google, said this is a movie that removed Avatar because of James Cameron's highest grossing film of 2009, Avatar. This is not what you expecting to see in a Nickelodeon cartoon series of the same name. The Last Airbender is criticizes because of whitewashed characters. People can't say the word Aang. Low villain plot. Terrible battle fights. And more that I say to go on. The Last Airbender is the last one that we all see.
This is so shit. That wasn't good to hear. That was horrible. It's true, though.
It flows through the ears like gravel. Let's go to Morag Aswell on Amazon. Morag's going to have some wisdom for you.
Oh, I love what he has to say about things.
In a review titled No, lowercase, full stop, she says, no, lowercase, full stop. Literally the name. She typed it twice. She typed it into the fucking... I don't know if she thought these were questions. Title of review? No.
She took the easy way out. The coward's way. Reviewer suicide.
Imagine if we just came on. Nope. It was half a second long episode. Ever one to flog the very deadest of horses, the Golden Raspberries awarded the film Worst Use of 3D, Worst Supporting Actor for Jackson Rathbone, who was also in Twilight, ho-ho, and Worst Screenplay, Director and Picture all awarded to Michael Night Shyamalan.
Oh.
What a bunch of shit.
Michael.
I just made that up.
Great. Marvellous Night Shyamalan.
Marvellous Night Shyamalan. Maverick.
So many possibilities with this.
Now, there were some very interesting two-men in this one, with cast members from Chappie, Twilight, Sex and the City 2, and Mother's Day. But we do have a three-man.
We do.
And if the three-man vaults can accommodate such a vast ego, then we humbly offer...
And talent.
Then we humbly offer the director, producer, writer, and legendary performer that is M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, free to a man, free in the bush, free, yo. Films are shit, mate.
Ka-chung! It's me pulling the lever of the trapdoor that only transports him into the annals.
It's the M. Night Shyamalan lever.
Yeah, everyone else just goes through a door.
Oh, and also Robert Lindsay, who is frankly just fucking gate-crashing here. He has an uncredited role in this film as Soldier. He's a member of the gay male choir in Sex and the City 2.
Ah, okay.
And he played Jake in The Happening, the student whose inevitable ugliness is foretold by Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, brilliant. Good. Well done, mate.
Yeah. And to be honest, all three of his roles, apart from Soldier, unless unbeknownst to me, he's going to be the soldier who did something hilarious in this. Like maybe he's the guy who said it really hurt. But... in both of his other roles, he's gotten a mention on our podcast. We mentioned the gay male choir, and we mentioned the fucking Jake, whose face is going to become Harrod.
Yeah, we did. So
the
he's
next decade.
like the best known, lesser known person alive.
Yeah.
But he's also a terrible yes man. People like you that are responsible for the Nazis, mate.
Yeah, take that. Extra in film.
Get in the three-man bin.
Now free to a man, free in a bush, free the shit, mate.
One last observation before we move on. The Wikipedia page for this says at the very bottom, see also, and then there are 2 links, whitewashing in film and list of films considered the worst.
Oh boy, what a legacy.
There's a legacy for you. So, Paul, you earth-bending father.
Yes.
What's one thing about The Last Airbender that made you want to believe in your beliefs as much as they believe in theirs?
Glad you mentioned that one. There's some cool kicks and spins, aren't there? At the beginning of the film, demonstrating the way they bend the elements.
Yeah!
It's very much a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers school of physical acting, isn't it?
We've got to go now! It's dynamic.
Jake, do you want a sandwich? Yes.
Not right now. Hate you, Jake. You're going to be ugly in about 10 years. Well, Paul, that sounds dramatic. And edgy, in an M. Night Shyamalan kind of way.
Edgy as a fucking road.
What happens? As edgy as a 50p bit. That's what I used to say about folk. What happens in this here, The Last Airbender?
Well, I'll tell you what, Paul. Doesn't fucking matter, does it? Because it's all given to us in subtitle and voiceover throughout the film.
100 years ago, all was right with our world. Prosperity and peace filled our days. The four nations. My brother and I live in the Southern Water Tribe, which was once a big city. Our father's off fighting in the war. My mother was taken prisoner. Flew us to his home. He told us how he left there in a storm on Appa and got forced into the ocean where they almost drowned. Was proving to be helpful. Arng was practicing, but for some reason, he was having trouble with waterbending. We moved from town to town. We arrived at the Northern Water Tribe. We presented ourselves to the royal court. Arng showed them he was the last airbender and was accepted to train with all those who could bend their natural element. The Avatar was the only person born amongst all the nations.
Yay.
Never mind.
It's like a radio play.
At the end. Yeah, it's a radio play. So to begin with, the voiceover tells us...
Oh, fuck me. You say at the beginning the voiceover takes us. In the film, the voiceover tells us.
In the beginning, there was only the voiceover. And the voiceover told us that there were 4 nations.
Yes.
Fire, earth, wind... and Eurythmics. And they knew how to bend the elements, and the people who could bend the elements were the greatest benders of all, and they were respected by all the non-benders in the larger non-bending and bending world. And after a while, the Fire Nation, who were the biggest benders of the lot, annihilated.
Fuck you.
Annihilated.
She's a bender.
I knew from the first time we discovered you were a bender.
But there are really powerful benders in the Northern Water Tribe.
We want to minimize their bender sources.
I've got it on my system now. So the
I doubt
the Fire Nation essentially annihilated all the good people. The benders, all of the good benders, Paul.
They destroyed...
It's the film.
They destroyed the air tribe and then invaded the rest of the world. So some of this is going to be out of order, but who gives a fuck? It's the story is here. So we cut to siblings, whose names I have forgotten, everyone. Hold on a moment. Katara, Sokka, and Katara.
Katara.
Caracas.
Baraka from Mortal Kombat.
It's my favourite character.
His spin-off. Finally, he says, a chance to shine.
What do you think about this, Baraka?
Great.
Let's do what he
You should
says.
get your own Nickelodeon series.
Baraka the rapper.
I'm so over him right now.
Katara and Sokka. Oh, you see, I can't remember what the correct pronunciation is because everyone got very pissed about the pronunciation of Sokka or Sokka.
We'll say Suka as in the
Suka.
Soviet insult.
I think that's correct.
Suka.
Does it mean bender?
And so they're siblings, and she's a waterbender, and she's not a master at it yet because she keeps getting her brother wet.
Oh
No.
That's the worst thing a bender can do is get the brother wet.
Oh, I think I love this film, actually.
The brother's really good with a boomerang. They are following an ice beast of some sort that they don't manage to find because apparently he's not a very good hunter. Don't worry, by the end of the film, he will have mastered that particular skill and use it to resolve some sort of thing. Don't worry.
Yeah. Great.
So they find there's some sort of weird glowing thing under the ice. So the brother immediately gets his sharp boomerang out and starts smashing it on the ice that they're standing on. Oh no, it's breaking! Ah! A big spherical thing comes out of the ice, and the brother now decides it could be a Fire Nation trick. Let's just back away slowly. And he backs one step. Okay, it's over. And he casually turns away and puts his boomerang away. And oh no! The sister, who was formerly quite nervous about the whole situation, grabs the boomerang and goes and smashes it, and it turns out there's a boy inside of the ice thing, and a big carpet.
a flying carpet with eyes. And the boy's name is Arng or Ang.
We're not going to find that out for another half an hour. Yeah, they smash it open, there's a boy in it whose name is Ang, unbeknownst to anyone. And the girl, having found this young child in the ice who seems semi-conscious, obviously asks the first question that would come to any of us. Are you okay? Nope, that's not it. How did you... Oh, nope, that's it. Oh, no, that was it.
What's your name? How did you get here?
Also,
ah, God, he's got no hair. He's awful. Never mind, because on the way home, we get a voiceover telling us that he airbended the air around him, and then he couldn't remember anything after that. Great.
Thanks.
Good thing we didn't have to have that in a conversation in real time.
Anyway, also, when Ang came out of the ice, a lightning thing shot into the sky, and Dev Patel saw it.
Oh yeah, as he's wont to do.
He's driving through the ice on his boat. It's incredibly impractical, but he insists on doing it. He has been banished by his father because he didn't manage to fight him in a duel. So he has to reclaim the Avatar. Oh, I don't know if we've mentioned, the Avatar is like Jesus. He can control all of the elements and control the minds and hearts of men. And it is the hearts of men that will end all war, I assume. So
probably. But he'd been gone for 100 years. The voiceover said that as well.
Oh, yeah. Also, yeah. Because of selfish reasons. Anyway, they come, they take Ang, because, fuck it.
And then Turl comes in, playing Dev Patel's uncle. And he goes, you must pass a simple test, after which we will let you go. And they put 3 elements out in front of him. They put a candle with a flame on it, and it grows in front of Ang.
Yeah.
And the uncle, being a Fire Lord, snuffs it out. And then he takes out a pitcher of water and sloshes it on the desk, and it forms a perfect circle.
Yeah.
But he's not a Water Lord, so he just has to leave it. And then he puts a rock on the table, and it wobbles slightly.
It continues to rock.
Yeah.
It remains a rock.
Oh, semantics.
He's the Avatar.
He is the Avatar, and he says, you said I could go. And he goes, oh, I am so sorry.
I didn't say that you could go.
I said that you could go. Not out anywhere.
You can go. You can go to your cell. Put that nipple away.
What I didn't say was that if you pass the test, which nobody else has done, then no, you're a prisoner. You're never getting out. We're going to kill you.
He also, just before that, as part of the elements test, put a bit of air in front of him.
Yeah,
and some air in front of him, and it goes.
And he burps.
He burped. He's the Avatar.
He put a bit of air in front of him, and his uncle felt a bit bloaty.
Meanwhile,
he's a god.
Sokka has gone full Hayden Christensen, saying that he'll kill them all. He'll kill them all, god damn it. He's arguing with his sister, trying to encourage her not to go after this kid that they don't fucking know and have no connection with whatsoever. She assures him that they're responsible for him because they broke him out the ice.
Yeah. Oh, an old woman says so as well.
Oh, an old woman says so. The old woman is there and talks about how a genius is going to come along and be able to change the minds of people. It's all very Shyamalan from Lady in the Water.
He will begin to change hearts, and it is in the heart that all wars are won.
I'm not absolutely convinced that she's not talking about him somehow.
No.
Ang slowly and awkwardly escapes from the ship, using a lot of reliance on characters just standing and watching him in awe.
Oh my god!
That's maybe one of his superpowers, that he has the power to make people just sort of stand there and not do a thing when they easily could.
Truly, he's a god. And he escapes, much to everyone's surprise who had already established that he's literally a god.
Using his stick glider that he's got. Yeah. And he reconvenes with Sokka and Katara. Super Sokka and Katara.
He's super soaked anyway. Oh, shoot me.
They fly to the Southern Air Temple, I think it is. The place where his people are from. They fly there, in which he talks at length about the backstory, about running away, about getting trapped in the ice, all stuff that's already been covered and that we've seen already.
Yeah. Anyway, can't wait to see them. Meat ripe off the bone!
It's been several days, because they've gone from Arctic tundra to desert. Mm-hmm. So time has passed. They land there, at which point she asks him,
"Is it okay if you tell me your name?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, by the way, I know I've just been calling you up until now.
Baldy.
Can I get those? Not digits. Can I get those?
Can I get them digits though? Because
I'm gonna hit that shit.
My loins. Oh, my loins. And he goes, "Oh, Ang. Oh, what does that sound familiar? Oh, you're not from that group of monks who were brutally massacred 100 years ago, were you?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Why?
sorry.
What?
Oh, I should have said that. I should have said that when we met days ago. Sorry.
You know what?
Probably shouldn't have come all the way here.
You've been talking about these monks for days, and there's something about them that's been like nagging me. It's like monks, air. There's no more airbenders. Why is that? Oh, there's something about the airbenders. Either there's none of them left because they were all massacred, or there's a whole bunch of them living happily in a community near here. There's only one way to find out.
Or there's all of them.
There's all of them.
I think the word genocide keeps going around my head. I'm not sure why.
Oh.
Anyway, go on and meet your family. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
And it's not fine.
It's not, actually. Twist. Shyamalan.
And then we get a few flashbacks with the one monk that he was really close to that we'd had no mention of before or ever set up at all. So the emotional moment felt really flat and was completely empty.
Excellent. Love that.
That was great.
I look forward to more of that.
Yeah. He finds the monk's bracelet. He gave him the bracelet that we see in the flashback that happens after he finds the bracelet. Oh no!
Oh no! We loved him.
What are we gonna do?
Meanwhile, Dev Patel is just sailing around in the Arctic still. I think when he
Going,
gets he gets picked up by General Zhao.
Yes, or Zhao or Jay, depending on who's saying his name.
Or Jeff. He gets picked up and he decides he's going to treat him to dinner because he's kind of an antagonist figure. And he picks him up and he says, "As you all know," and then explains the kid's backstory. Thanks.
Yeah.
God, I hate.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I hate coming to dinner with this guy. As you all know, the Earth was created many millions of years ago. We're not allowed to eat till he finishes. God, I hate the Fire Nation.
God, I hate Commander Zhao.
This is the worst kind of bender.
You know what we did, though? We booked Commander Jay, and Commander Zhao is the one we wanted. He's great. He's actually a really, really great orator. Brevity is his strength.
Oh, Christ.
He's a brevity bender.
Cutting back to the siblings, having presumably left the air temple. We don't actually see it, but they've moved on. They're in the woods now, and a little kid is running away from some firebenders. It turns out he was flinging pebbles at them. Little scamp, which is highly illegal in the bending world.
Yeah, it really hurt.
It really hurt. The kids try to stand up for the little kid, and, they decide, oh, fuck it, we'll take you to the prison of exclusively airbenders as well, because you're dicks. We don't like dicks either.
The exclusive earthbenders in their earthy prison.
Come on, everyone, says Arng. This place is surrounded by Earth. One of them's like, hey, he's right! Tony, there's Earth right beneath your feet. What?
Shit! Oh my fucking god! It's right there!
You said it was cheese!
Yo, you fell for it, though.
I hate your Fire Nation. So, having given his speech, he then says,
if the Avatar had returned, would that mean anything to you?
Look, don't say yes right away. Would it make any difference to you if I said I was the Avatar? Well, I mean, we were all quite on board, but yeah, go on. No, don't say yes yet. 5% off Pizza Express. Don't say yes yet. 20%. Don't say yes yet. 5%. What?
Circle of life.
Well, let's just rebel.
They do that. There's a oneer in there, I think, and it's really underwhelming. But they do. They successfully rebel. They beat the 7 guards that are guarding them all.
Yeah.
And,
they're guarding the hundreds of magical men.
And the magical men win, and then that's the last we see of them.
Yep.
Bye.
Good luck, fellas. Katara, Sokka, and Aang all meet up together and discuss a neat premise for a television show, in which they're going to travel to the northern water tribe in order to learn how to waterbend, and along the way help out a whole bunch of villagers and get into a bunch of wacky adventures.
Brilliant.
Sounds like fun. Let's do that. So after they've done that off screen,
yeah. We cut back to them just lying on the floor next to a river, having voiceovers instead of conversations. And then Aang goes, I'm going to go to this other to speak to the dragon spirit. I think that's what he says.
Oh yeah.
To that temple over there, dangerously away. And they say, don't do that. It's dangerous. No, I'm gonna. Don't. All right then.
Katara, see if you can talk him out of it off screen.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
I guess it didn't work.
He's gone now. Oh. So he goes and he speaks to a monk there who just repeats more of the same, really, about the monks and the nations and the benders. And it's a trick. It's a monkey trap. He sells him out for the future of his own monastery, which seems to include him and only him. But there's the Fire Nation. They capture him. And I think it's Commander Zhao who has him?
Yeah. It's Commander Zhao. And is this when he gets rescued by the Blue Spirits?
That's the one.
Yes, they sluggishly fight again.
He gives a moderate demonstration of his bending powers. Moves some rocks around. He kicks someone's pants with some
clean
air.
Off.
And all the way off. You'll never find them. Such is the will of the air god.
And when he does find them, he can't put them on again. They're too small. God, He's brilliant.
And then when he throws them away, someone else will find them and be really confused.
God, what a mystical, magical world.
Yeah, don't cross Aang, everyone. So, but then they escape and...
Well, they escape, but then one of the just regular archers happens to fire the best fucking shot in the world.
Yeah.
Like, he can't believe it when he's done it.
Yeah.
He fires from the castle. He hits this fucking guy as they're about to retreat into the woods right in the face, and it shatters the mask. Why didn't you do that when he was like 5 feet away?
Yeah, but Commander Zhao didn't say do it. Yeah.
Do it.
He was like, no. This is going to be great. And weird Commander Zhao. Anyway, it's Dev Patel.
Yes.
He's the Blue Spirit.
Yes, it is Dev Patel. He is the Blue Spirit. And after this, the uncle has a bit of a chat with him, saying, look, why don't you just lay down your roots here? There's lots of attractive women around. Stop trying to get me laid.
You need it, all right?
Shortly after that, he survives an assassination attempt on him somehow.
Yeah.
They blow up his boat, which he lives because he's immune to explosions. Yeah, Fire Lord.
Yeah.
A fire and explosion lord.
Yeah, and a Fire Lord that wasn't immune to fire would be a pretty bad Fire Lord, I think. I shall fight you with... Oh, fuck.
Ow!
My hands again.
I'm banishing you. You're the worst.
You're embarrassing, Fire Lord.
I like that. So the fucking strategy of the fire generals was like, we shall kill him with a fiery explosion. Look, I've got a super Sokka here. Is that me? No, it's not you. And it's... Let me just
Get away,
squirt him.
Jackson Rathbone.
The kid just comes and squirts him in the face. Ow.
Alright, I won't do it. That's horrible. It's really uncomfortable.
Alright, I'll go get laid instead. So, he survives, but he's gone secret. The uncle's now going to sort of play stealth. Play Statham.
Yeah.
He's going to play Jason Statham.
You're weird, uncle.
For Commander Zhao. He's going to be undercover. Alright, what's going on here? Don't play it Statham with me, son. You haven't got the legs for it.
Oh, he's looking a bit cheeky. He's a spy. Get him.
Damn it.
Cut up his uncle.
I knew I couldn't cut for Statham. Anyway, they get to the Northern fucking Water Tribe. The brother and princess get close in a look.
Voiceover.
Yeah.
In a fucking voiceover.
My brother and the princess became friends right away.
He is trained by Watermaster Billy Connolly, who tells
Bernard Hill.
Who tells him he must release his emotions, which makes me think, please, fucking please, release your emotions. Anyone.
God, somebody. Not even emotions. Somebody release anything. Anything. Jizz.
A fart.
Do
Just
it.
Something to make it feel human.
A fucking sigh.
Somebody blink! Please, Michael Knight Shyamalan. Michael.
Let us look at a body outside of a wide-angle lens, just so we can see their diaphragm raising and falling.
I'm not convinced they're not just faces. Prove me wrong, M. Night Shyamalan. I fucking dare you. But look, Super Sokka wouldn't actually be Hayden Christensen if he didn't have an incredibly underwhelming love interest. And a scene when they get together and he talks about how much he hates snow. So, the princess, who is only capable of smiling, explains that she was brought to life by a fish once when she was a girl, and that's why her hair is white.
Oh, it sounds so stupid when you say it like that.
Look, the show sold it, trust me. The Fire Nation attack using ash. There is a number of scenes where we see... Oblivion, I choose you! We are assured that this fortress is impenetrable. Unless they have, like, weird drill hats that they can use to get through the ice.
Oh, but they wouldn't have that. They're Fire Nation, not Drill Nation.
Drill Nation is the 90s dance group I was a part of.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you said that, because I couldn't figure out how to phrase that.
Better.
Just new leather shorts, that's all you need.
Drill Nation is so underwhelming. It's high concept. It's low budget and success.
Oh, but M. Night Shyamalan loves it because he models his entire Fire Nation army after it, because they break through
he models
the floor
the Battle
of the bloody
Helm's
Ice
Deep after
Kingdom
it.
with drill hats.
Yeah, they do. And they also have big lizards.
Yeah, and Bernard Hill's distraught. Like, well, better go and have a Helm's Deep moment. That's rubbish.
Bernard Hill hates this. Look, it all gets very confusing. Aang meditates in order to go speak to some sort of goat. I don't know.
Yeah.
He
we
goes
forget
off.
what the film's about for about 30 minutes.
Katara fights with Dev Patel. Dev Patel wins because fire can go around corners sometimes. But then they're found immediately and there's no consequence to that.
Yeah.
Fuck, can we just cut to the
Commander
chase?
Zhao turns up and,
Yeah.
and says, we're going to overreach man's grasp. Hugh Jackman, eat your fucking heart out. I'm going to kill the moonfish god. When Commander Zhao finally does stab the fish god,
yeah,
everyone loses their powers. Oh no, the sky turns red because fire. But then the underwhelming Natalie Portman-a-thon, she gives a life to to revive the moonfish god.
Yeah, she does, whilst the uncle, who could have done this at any fucking time, decides to be a badass, creating fire out of thin air, which apparently only he can do. And he holds his fiery fist out in front of General Zhao. And I wonder how General Zhao is reacting to this. Can't tell. It's behind the fire. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's scared. Okay, jolly good. I'm glad we established that 5 seconds into the shot. Oh, it's the uncle who sells the idea of dying to the fucking smiley chick. Smiley love interest. It comes over and just says...
an idea.
You have been anointed by the moon spirit.
He gave me life when I was a child.
Then there's still a chance. You can give your life back for the spirits.
There's still a chance? You just have to give your life.
We've got a cheeky chance, everyone.
Here's an option for you. Die.
I like where you're coming from.
He's so cheerful as he explains this. She dies. The fish comes back to life. Everybody eats it. It's great. And they go home full. Aang overcomes his guilt, I guess. Yeah. Or just fully feels it. That's it. He doesn't reject it. And now he properly feels guilty, and that's good.
After a good talking to from John Noble.
Oh, no.
Shame on you, Denethor.
Now he's become Smaug. Yeah, they just chase off the Fire Nation. We're a big wave.
Yeah, we'll go then.
I fucking mean it next time. It's only one of those you're going to get for free. Shit, he means business. Just get out of here. Get out of here, lads. So they sail off. It. They've still got Jason Statham with them, I think. I can't remember who that was.
Oh, no, Commander Zhao dies because...
Oh, yeah. 4 unknown people come out of nowhere to kill him.
Well, he goes to kill Dev Patel, and the uncle protects Dev Patel because he goes to fire him in the back.
Yeah.
And he's like, you stand alone, Zhao. And that is your weakness.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And then Jared Harris and his 3 stoner friends come on in order to drown him in water.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the show, it was the gods who killed him.
And then that's it. He's gone.
Oh, fuck it. Gods, 4 random dudes. Who cares?
Yeah. Whatever. Who gives a fuck anymore? And it's the end. Except for...
Oh, no!
We cut to the king of the Fire Nation, Dev Patel's dad. And he's like, now, we've got a sequel coming up, everyone. And it's going to be darker and bigger than this one. And better, somehow.
Yes.
And we're relying on you to make it especially bigger and better and more evil and sexy because you're a lady. But do we know who you are yet? Ba-ba! And then it cuts and it's Dev Patel's sister and she does a sort of Torgo evil smile, not evil smile thing over and over again because the camera refuses to cut from her for about 8 minutes.
Who remembers this fan favourite character? Catch her next time.
In Never.
Yeah, in Never. The end. M. Night Shyamalan's name comes up under 4 different credits. He's very happy. Holy Christ.
Oh.
That was that. And I think the problems with it are very easy to summarize.
My brother and the princess became friends right away.
It's no character moments whatsoever.
Yes.
There's very few moments of actual emotion.
There's no dialogue, really.
There's really not any dialogue. It is exposition.
I need to tell you something.
What is it, Arng?
I ran away before they trained me to be the Avatar. I don't know how to bend the other elements.
Why did you run away?
The day they told me I was the Avatar. They said I could never have an...
We grew close over the summer.
Exactly.
Every single time. My brother and the princess fell in love.
It's a much more pertinent example than Stakeland. I think I'll be using this from now on as the slightly more better known example of when not to do that.
Yeah.
Awful dialogue. Completely glosses over anything that might be interesting.
Yeah.
It tells... The biggest problem with it, there is no focus. There is no main one storyline. The 3 main kids are not in it for so much of this movie. It's actually more interested in, I think, in Zuko. But there's whole stretches where he's not in it either, so there's no main character.
And I mean, it's perfectly embodied in the final act.
Yeah.
Where it just suddenly becomes about this war.
Yeah.
It was at the expense of having, again, any character moments between the kids. And, you know, we went into it thinking, well, this is going to be Aang finally realizing his strength and accepting his powers and using them. But all we get is about 1 minute of meditating, a half a minute fight with Dev Patel, and then, about a minute of the wave at the end, and the rest of it is just a war that no one could care about. It has nothing else to do with the main story.
I think so. We'll come on to the original TV show briefly. I had bought the box set of Avatar ages ago. It'd been maybe 6 years ago, and it had been on my to-watch pile since. So one really good thing about this is that I really appreciate having an excuse to finally crack that thing open and actually watch the first season. 20 episodes long, each episode about 25 minutes, and I really loved it. I thought it was great. You know, fantastic characters, brilliant world, excellent action. It's absolutely perfect, really. And I recommended an episode to you.
Yes.
One that I thought was pretty representative of the show as a whole. The episode The Storm. which covers the bits. Basically, it's basically the flashback episode where you find out.
It's the film episode.
You find out Dev Patel's backstory, and you find out Aang's story of why he ran away after he found out he was the Avatar. What did you make of it?
I really enjoyed it. I've got to say, I mean, they could have used that 10-minute sequence in the film, shot for shot, and it would have improved it no end. They wouldn't even have to do any work.
You saw it.
I think the comedy was great, and some just really wonderful lines, but just the world. I had such a great sense of the world from that standalone episode. I didn't need any voiceovers. I didn't need anything explaining anything to me.
Yeah.
Just being in that world and having them casually mention things, firebenders or whatever in passing, and just subtle demonstrations of Aang's latent powers, just picking up on a coming storm and things like that. It was just really a story that was really well told. A lot of things that animation is able to do that can look goofy with special effects in movies.
Yes, definitely.
It played to its strengths really well, and I'd be really interested in seeing more of it.
Yay! Well, I'm really glad, and there's so much worth in that first season. I mean, the 2-part finale, which is that battle for the Northern Air Tribe, there's so much great stuff in there, and it's upsetting that the princess thing has been spoiled, because I even remember her name now. It's Princess Yue, because I remember her from the show.
Oh, that's which is moon in Chinese.
Oh, well, that makes sense, because it's
why
meant to be like the moon god and the ocean god are the two gods that affect things, so yay! There's some thought there.
Yeah, I loved the flashback for Dev Patel's character. Explaining why he's the way he was, and I love the resolution with him and his crew. They have this whole backstory about him not caring about his crew, and then the uncle comes down and tells the story of why he, how he was injured, and the guards didn't know, and it was all because he was sticking up for them. And they have that really great resolution where he saves their lives during the storm. Yeah. And I just think, they cover all of these plot points in the movie.
Yeah.
And there would have been no shame in just copying that. I don't know why M. Night Shyamalan felt the need to not only, to have those basic points, but to do it to do it via voiceover, but also remove all of the emotional beats.
Exactly. And it's just he cannot do characters. That's the thing about him. And sometimes that doesn't matter as much. And that's when he's playing to his strengths. But whenever it's a character-driven story, as he often does, then it's very ineffective. I mean, one of the great things about Avatar is how often characters are paired with their antithesis. Zuko is paired with his sort of stoner uncle type, the Dev Patel character, which is a great interplay between them, as one of them's very driven, sort of distressed, kind of Anakin Skywalker style figure, but with a very goofy kind of, hey, take it easy. Let's just go get laid. And Zuko and Katara's
she's a no-nonsense general, and he's he's like a hot-headed oaf, but fun kind of guy, and she's a very sort of level-headed, emotional, feeling sort of person.
Yes, emotional and feeling. She's much more compassionate than he is. But he is. What's great about him is he's such a complex character as Sokka. He's I feel bad I'm saying his name wrong all the time.
Sokka.
If I change out the pronunciation, then every other time I'll be saying it right.
Yeah. Cafe Niru.
A fucking idiot Paul is right twice a day. He's interesting because he's I guess he's really good at tactics, he's really good at plans, but he's kind of an oaf, and he puts up a strong front, and it's really interesting. I had trouble getting a read on him at first because he was often sort of either comic relief or the hothead kind of jock one, and I couldn't quite figure him out, but that's because he's got stuff going on. He's got a lot of things that he's trying to be versus things that he actually is, and it's interesting. The guy playing him in this, the Twilight guy, I'm sorry to say he might be the worst one in this.
He's really bad. I mean, he's not just full-on Hayden Christensen in terms of his character development, his performance as well.
I did everything Dad said to do. I watched what side of the fin tracks are more indented, that shows you which direction they're going. I saw how long the drag skids are, that shows you how fast they're going. I know you think everything's going to work out, but I don't. So, are you the Avatar, Arng?
Yeah.
It's very bad.
It is. It's very unfortunate.
I mean, it's not nice that the Razzies sort of pinned him for that, but it is accurate.
No, it is. He is the worst one, unfortunately, but it's not helped by the script, and a lot of this does come down to Shyamalan.
And the directing. It's
absolutely.
Classic Shyamalan directing. Everyone is a flat line. I got the feeling that it was directed by someone who doesn't have English as a first language.
who doesn't have cinema as a first language.
Yes, very good. Yeah.
There's so many shots where we're not seeing the important thing, and
Yeah.
just like Lady in the Water, it just feels like he's saying, oh, you expect me to do this, but I'm going to do this. Visionary.
Do you remember the scene where Dev Patel takes out a bunch of his guards in a training exercise?
Yes, I do.
And then it just cuts to Dev Patel's face as he's
Yeah.
throwing people and taking them out. So you occasionally
Yep.
see him throw someone over his shoulder, but only because his shoulder happens to be in the shot of his face.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And I could only assume that that's because Dev Patel can't fight. But it could equally be because M. Night Shyamalan is a fucking loony bean. Loony bean? Yeah.
He's a loony bean, and he can't shoot action.
He's a loony bean. And he can't what?
He can't shoot action.
Oh, no,
He's never
totally
had
defanged.
to before. I mean, there's what?
Yeah.
Unbreakable? There's the bit where Bruce Willis shoves a guy into a swimming pool. There's no action really in his films. He's never had to do it before, and he just really struggles with it here.
Too much slow motion.
Yeah.
Plenty of one-ers. There are about 6 one-ers
Yes,
in
but
his action
inappropriate
scenes.
one-ers. One-ers where people are just standing around in the background, and there's lots of times when characters will swipe or stick out their sword at no one.
Yeah.
And you have to wonder if they planned to
that's-
put CGI bad guys in there, but then didn't.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's one-ers, but it's him going, I shall put a one-er here. For what?
Yeah.
I will figure that out. Roll camera.
I'll fix it in
And
post.
It's just really disappointing. The dialogue was... Did he write the script as well?
Yes, he did. He co-wrote it. But,
Okay, great.
Some of this comes down to the fact that Shyamalan, I think, came to the original show and did not like... It wasn't the playful tone or the flamboyant action, but instead the world and the mystical elements that drew his attention. And character just got lost in the shuffle, because his priority was, I want to articulate this world, and I want to tell this story of like a mystical thing, and he didn't really I think he himself said, I took out some of the kids stuff, and I think he referenced farting, but really I think what he meant was the comedy, the characters, the interactions, the fun and games, as I think it gets called in script writing terms, the scene you put in just for characters to mess around. Unfortunately, the premise, the stuff that he loves, really suits a long form episodic format. And it definitely better suits animation.
Yes.
Shyamalan, I actually think, did well to scale back the frenetic quality of the action, because if you tried to, like you said earlier, if you tried to literally film the way that the bending works in the show, it would just look chaotic. It would just be, Avatar. It would be the other Avatar. It would, what's a good comparison? It would be Marvel at its worst, just characters flying around, weightlessness.
Like Justice League.
Yes, it would be like Justice League, which is Marvel at its worst, definitely. He makes a lot of very odd decisions regarding shot length, blocking, and editing, and part of that is also, apparently, at the last minute, they decided this fucking thing was going to be in 3D, and so they had to cut 30 minutes out of the film so that they could get the 3D done in time.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Great.
That's a good motivation behind cutting there.
I don't feel this is one of those movies where that would have been saved by
God, no. There's no
extra
way.
time.
No, they just had more episodes. Like there's an episode where they run into a bunch of female warriors, but there's production shots, and there's actually a shot of them in the trailer. So that 30 minutes was just more shit from the show.
Oh, one of the other big things I picked up on whilst watching the show was how easily words like bender slipped in.
Yes.
And didn't sound stupid.
Yes, it's weird.
But it's difficult to be mature about it sometimes, because there are lines like, the Avatar is a bender. Are you a bender boy? It's, you've got to scan for goofy, stupid things and things that sound dumb. Lord of the Rings is a masterclass in saying nerdy things in a cool way. This film has lines like, the Fire Nation has stolen knowledge of us from the great librarian.
Yeah.
And you just think...
It's the Scrunts again, isn't it? It's the Scrunts and the Misty Foos and the blah blah.
Exactly.
You have just reminded me, though, there's a brilliant moment there where he says, everybody knows that the Avatar is going to be an airbender this time round, because they do cycle through. I can't remember if that's part of the many exposition things, but each nation produces an avatar, so it's the air. It was the air thing's turn. That's why they killed them all. Anyway, he says the Avatar is going to be an airbender. Are you an airbender, boy? And then he bends like the air, and the same guy is just like, how is he doing this? He's an airbender.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry, I remember now. I just said it.
Sorry,
I
haven't had
my marbles.
I haven't had lunch yet. I'm sorry. I'm not together.
It's just it just sounds ludicrous. It's like if Aragorn was suddenly called Barry Cockring or something.
Yeah. That's in my version. That's the real Lord of the Rings. Now, there's an interesting discussion to be had about what an adaptation owes to its original. blind faithfulness is usually as much a stumbling block as, radical deviation. Yes. And Shyamalan has every right to change the tone, plot, and characters as he sees fit, so long as he creates something entertaining in its own right. The reason that I went back and watched the show is because I wanted to see an example of this. This doesn't work. This is the world. Yeah. This is this world, these characters, and this plot not working. So I wanted to see an example of this world, these characters, and this plot working well in order to, see a model that I could contrast this with. And, it's pretty obvious why one works and why the other doesn't.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is he has all the drawbacks of a faithful adaptation and all of the insult of a disloyal one. In addition to being bound by the plot, it's not loyal to the spirit. At no point... You know what Aang's big power is? Do you know why the Avatar is so important? It kind of gets said because there's some shit about the spirit world and changing people's hearts, but what he's great at is bringing people together.
Right, okay.
And what's brilliant about it is that he's constantly shown to be kind of a goofball in the show. And what's great, and I don't think I've ever seen this, there's often the Chosen One storyline where the Chosen One has a great important destiny but also wants to screw around. Like it's Buffy, it's anything you want to look at.
It's nice, yeah.
It's nice, but in this it's kind of implied that Aang's superpower is him being a goofball. That youthful energy and spirit is actually the things that makes him special, because there's an episode of the show where he's traveling with two tribes who hate each other because of some arbitrary fucking reason pertaining to two ancestors of theirs falling out. And they've kept the grudge going. And after trying to figure them out and trying to talk reason and all the rest of it, Aang just lies to them and makes up a story and says, oh, those two guys, I knew them. They weren't bitter enemies, they were friends. And that horrible thing that happened was actually just a game. And they all get along afterwards. And Aang just reveals that he was just making it up. It's cute.
That's so cool. That's really cool. And contrast it to this, and he's Zack Snyder's Superman, isn't he?
Yes.
He's so sad and so burdened by the weight of responsibility of the hero. It's not fun.
Yes, they've also made...
it's just a wide-angle lens of him pouting.
And they made being Avatar suck more, because apparently now the Avatar can't have a family. That's not in the thing.
Yeah.
That's not in the show. In the show he has kids, the Avatar. And there's descendants of previous Avatars who show up. It's like... they've made it a burden. Zack Snyder's Avatar is an apt, I say, comparison.
Zack Snyder's Avatar, yeah.
Shit, I didn't mean to say that.
Well, it's said now, and that is apt.
It is apt also. So, as usual, we've got to come to M. Night Shyamalan's response to the overwhelming negative reception. Oh, also, they totally whitewashed it. Let's just say that and leave it there, because they made some very obviously codified, differently raced. The differently raced. I prefer to be called the differently raced. They love that.
Still? I mean, is it whitewashing when you cast the Chinese as an Indian, nation?
No, but the three main characters are all American white kids now, whereas in the thing they're very definitely not that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the whitewashing element. I don't know about making Dev Patel, although I think it's vaguely implied that Zuko is kind of white-ish in the show, and now they've made him Indian and he's the bad guy. I don't know. There's a whole thing there, but. Nevertheless, it was a good chance to have a bit of representation in a major Hollywood tentpole movie, and they didn't, which kind of sucks. M. Night Shyamalan said, I bring as much integrity to the table as humanly possible. Let's just let that sink in. A measured response here.
Look, I'm your god and savior, alright? And
he goes on.
Yeah.
It must be a language thing. In terms of a particular accent, a storytelling accent, I can only see it this certain way, and I don't know how to think in another language. I think these are exactly the visions that are in my head, so I just don't know how to adjust it without being me. And I sympathise, I guess. He can't fake it. He's
No, I mean, that makes sense.
He's definitely an auteur. It's just this very interesting dynamic where the vision in his head isn't what anyone else wants to see.
Yeah.
And I sympathise.
Yeah. And empathise.
We've all been there. Why does nobody want to see my Basil Brush pornographic imagery? Daring, honest.
Why does nobody want to see my tooth collection?
They're not mine. Obviously.
Obviously, that'd be weird.
God, calm down, everyone.
That's interesting. That's really interesting.
He made it the only way he could. incompetently. Because it's empirical. It's empirical, the problems with this. You can't say it's down to opinion. It's not the way you tell a story using a visual medium. This is a really great example of the opposite of pure cinema. Practically a radio play.
And to admit that, I mean, I don't think he's doing this intentionally, but he's admitting weakness there.
Kind of. I mean, I think it was still...
Indirectly.
It was still in regards to The Last Airbender, in which he just said that critics just didn't get him, and that in Europe it was much,
Yeah, for sure, but he's just opened us up to the workings of his mind. He has this vision, which is bad, and he isn't able to translate it into something that's good.
Yes, but I wouldn't suggest that that's him being humble. I think this is him...
No,
yeah.
I'm not saying that he's being humble.
No.
I'm saying that he's saying his thing, and everyone else now goes, oh, I get it.
This is him saying, look, this is the only way I know how to do it. Brilliantly.
And everyone goes, oh, of course it is.
All I can do is the very fucking best because I'm a visual cinematic genius. And it's just...
Observe.
I feel like we need to revisit the talent of Stand By Your Shit. Who was the person we really liked recently?
Man Has the Hands of Fate guy, Warren.
That's right, yes. He said it's the worst film ever made and I'm very proud of it. That's the good response. And like Shyamalan's, I can't decide if it's good or not. Would it be better if he came out and said, look, this was a piece of shit. I'm sorry. I wish I hadn't done it. The Joel Schumacher approach.
I think at this stage it's too late to apologise because he'd literally be murdered.
I mean, he did damage the legacy of the Avatar is the thing. Hopefully it's going to get its dues now because very excitingly it's due for again, it's live action, so I don't quite know how to take it, but it's due for another reboot on Netflix, so maybe this will be... And this time the original creators are more involved. The original creators, incidentally, did initially say that they were very on board with it and that they respected M. Night Shyamalan's work. But then after the film was released, apparently they had problems with it from the very beginning. So
brilliant. Well,
yeah.
You also suck, but you made a good show. So
you made a great show. Oh, well. I think that's all there is to say about it, really.
Yeah, I think so.
It is deservedly regarded as one of the worst films because it's very... unentertaining. It's a very dull epic.
It is.
But there are some good things. There are some very good things because it is a collaborative medium. A lot of people got together and some of them brought their A game. So let's go over some. Let's quickfire.
I thought that the water effects were sometimes quite good. There was the scene at the beginning when she's transporting a globule of water and it looks really fucking good.
It looks fantastic, actually, and I think, actually, for me, the first 3 minutes work quite well. Yeah. I like the epic sort of looking Nickelodeon logo. I like the title, the sort of moves that the people are doing at the beginning, which mirrors the opening to the TV show. And then I love that water bending thing, the glob of water. And even the dynamic between the two kind of works. It's obvious that what's-his-name isn't acting the best that he could, but the first couple of lines is something like,
Stop doing that stuff around me. I always get wet.
Which, incidentally, he says was perfectly dry, but you get the idea.
Still. And and that frozen wasteland, I like the colour palette of it. It was very saturated in a very Nickelodeon way, but if they were going to go with that, I thought...
Yeah, and the main characters stood out well in their sort of bright blue robes.
When they're in the camp, Dev Patel comes in and goes, "Bring me all your elderly!" And it just, to me, I just got really saucy connotations from it. I mean, it's going to be a long night. Dev Patel's house.
Bring me all your elderly and your whale grease. And your whales.
And your hails, and your ales, and your les. I want it all.
Look, just get in the fuck pile. All of you.
I'm Dev Patel, get in the fuck pile.
Get in Dev Patel's fuck pile.
Everyone.
What is fuck pile? Fuck pile is crime.
Oh,
I really think Aang's tattoo looks great. I like the way they've updated it, because in the cartoon it's just a grey arrow, but I like the way they've made it a sort of Asian-looking script that goes around. I think that's really cool. And it looks kind of like, it looks a bit science-y, as well as being very spiritual, so there's a lot going on with that. I like it.
It's like an inscription.
Yeah, or a schematic, like a circuit board, but also sort of text. I like that a lot.
Yeah, me too, man. I've got here water and fire effects still look good. It's when they're still in the camp, when they're leaving, the bad guys are leaving town. One of the goons comes back and sort of does a kick which picks up the fire from the pit.
Oh,
and mobs it around the crowd like an absolute wanker. And he loves it. It's like, yeah. And I mean, the fire also looked good.
Yeah, it did. And I'll have this as mine. I really like the fire when Dev Patel is sort of just sparring with his guys in that intense close-up.
Yeah.
It does eventually cut to a wide, and we see Dev Patel just sort of fling it about, and I like the way it hits people. It doesn't hit people... It hits people with like a crash. Like it just smashes into them, and it's like... Poof.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
So some effects look pretty good in this film.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they spent so
Pretend
much
we said that
time they spent so much time and effort on the special effects here and invented a whole bunch of techniques that it's a good thing it looks good, frankly.
At least those guys get work. I like the floating creature that Aang has.
Oh, Appa. He's such a great character in the show.
Yeah.
Yip, yip.
And there's one scene where he's floating and all the kids are playing with him, and this little dude is just hanging off of his paw. It looks like he's having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Oh, Appa's great. Appa's great. Appa's great. It's all great, guys. Check it out.
Arpa Scarpa, Wabba Dabba.
Oh, actually, an improvement to the story structure of the series. In the series, they figure out that Aang is over 100 years old. Whilst when they find a Fire Nation boat, Aang actually spends a significant amount of time in the village before the Fire Nation show up, which is why the village like him and would fight for him. And why he, cares about them. But anyway, he figures it out there. In this, although it's incredibly awkward and involves them having had a very selectively helpful conversation, it is kind of cool that Aang only figures out that his people are dead when he gets there. Like you say, it would have meant more if we'd had, any information from him about the tribe beforehand.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, it's quite a good change.
Yeah, agreed. I loved his little move where he escapes the room with Turl and Dev Patel. Because he uses the wind to push himself out of the room and slam the door shut. And it's filmed in a really, for once, an appropriately intimate way, with him just going... it was very good.
Yeah, good stuff. Oh, I do like the line, "It really hurt," that the guard says when...
Yeah. That child is being arrested.
For what?
He was bending tiny stones at us from behind a tree. It really hurt.
That was cute. And it was a funny line. It was like it was a comedy or something.
Like I said, the one when they're rising up is kind of, when they're taking everyone out is kind of lame, but what they're getting at, that the Earthbenders are gaining courage to rise up, it felt quite good.
Yes, and we made fun of it, but I actually kind of like the idea that they had the weapons to fight back around them at all times, but that they didn't because it was their spirit that was broken. It wasn't the logistics of it. In the show, they're kept on an iron boat, so there's nothing for them to earthbend. But yeah, I like the idea that the tools to their liberation were around them the whole time. They just needed inspiration. That's cool. It worked.
Yeah. No, I like that. And when this was happening, somebody would shoot fire at somebody and they'd be protected by somebody else. And then they'd get shot at, and then someone else would protect them. It was nice.
Collaborative. Collegiate. Or collegial.
Wish I knew what that was like.
Fuck you.
Yeah, mate.
I really like the soundscape of the spirit world when Aang goes over there. There's like this weird rainforest style mystical sound to it that I really liked. I'll sample it here. And here. And here.
No.
No. I'm going to go to work.
When Aang is chatting to Katara, and he asks on the shore, and he asks if it will be okay to go to this island for a day. It's then a hard cut to the brother talking to Katara, who says, "Why?" It's a really nice cut just to save the hassle of having the rest of that conversation in the beginning of the next one.
Good stuff.
Snappy, M. Night Shyamalan. Snap-Hamalan. No, it doesn't work.
I like the fact that the uncle tries to talk the cousin into giving up. Because it's like, your dad is a dick.
Yeah, he is, though.
Do we really need his approval?
Yes.
I mean, at least he's got a face in this film, and the other one, he's just a big pillar of fire. You're trying to impress that? What's wrong with you?
I actually quite like the uncle character.
Oh yeah,
I thought he was probably the best performance
in Ao,
and
I think
best character.
Yeah, I agree. He was really good.
When the Dev Ex Machina comes in to rescue the Avatar, he throws a stick to Aang, who's standing front of shot with his back to the camera.
Yeah,
and the camera's focused on his hand when he catches it, and when he does, there's a nice little BAM from the score, and it's a very very cool moment of kind of, we're going to break the fuck out now, and it's going to be great, unlike the rest of the film.
And then it's not.
And then after that, when it's either Commander Zhao or it must be Commander Zhao is telling the Fire Lord, Dev Senior, about what happened, and Dev Senior goes, "You think my son is the one my soldiers are calling the Blue Spirit?" and then there's a very, very long pause, followed by, yes. It's great.
I really like at the end when Aang is letting go of his feelings, he has memories of the actual air tribe, and he remembers playing games with the others, and it looks very serene, and it's a believable sort of snapshot of this village where it's actually quite encouraging and supportive, and you get why he misses these people, and you know, it's been absent from the rest of the film, maybe because he hasn't been letting himself feel it, and it's a nice moment of sort of catharsis that he can reclaim these really sweet memories and feel that pain and process it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say my next good thing following on from that is I think it's during that flashback where his favourite monk is telling him off during meditation. And it plays out really nicely because it's a line of students meditating with their eyes shut. Aang opens his eyes and the camera pans right to the monk, who also has his eyes shut, but he smiles or wags his finger.
Yes.
And then the camera pans back to Aang.
Yeah, that was
really
part
cute.
of it. That was very good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I really like the sort of 300 style march shot during the final battle where Aang is just sort of leaping over people and shooting them with icicles and making water shoot up out of the floor and all of that. That was quite cool.
Well, my last one is when Yuet sacrifices herself and brings the moon spirit back to life. We cut to all the soldiers who are looking at the sky going, oh no, as the sky turns blue again. And then this fucking maverick just comes in from screen right and fucking tackles a fire soldier from behind and completely takes him out. And it comes with a full sound effect of whoop as well. It's so good, so funny.
Excellent. My last good thing is the very end of the film when everybody's bowing to Aang and his two best friends, in theory, sort of go and start bowing as well, and they sort of lose their individuality, and it just becomes this big kind of cult all bowing to Aang. And it's all very cynical, and it's quite opposed to how the Avatar is treated in the show. But there's this great zoom in of Aang's face where he's really trying to control his expression, but it's one of tremendous uncertainty. He really doesn't like this. He doesn't know how to take it. I like that. I like the idea of this sort of being a very ambiguous ending, and Aang being deeply uncomfortable with this position that he finds himself in. So yeah, a good little bit of acting there from Noah Taylor, or whatever his name is. Probably not Noah Taylor, guy from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, no, Ringer probably.
Oh yeah.
All they had to do was take the camera from out of his face just for a second, and they're like, oh, he acted.
Just so he could stop hearing the camera operators breathing. And he can actually just concentrate a bit.
Which is probably why he was looking so concerned throughout.
You're right. You're right, Barry. Yeah. Do the acting. I've got to put the camera down. Why are we doing this handheld? Excellent. Cool. So that was quick firing. Did we get anything from the OGT?
From the OGT. Why? Yes. We have... We're going to run out of ways to say yes eventually. Launching the pilot at Launching T-Pilot said, I thought it was fine until I watched the animated show.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. Seeing something better will ultimately do it.
Oh, this is what it was meant to be like. It's like the same story, but I feel about it.
Thanks, OGT.
Thanks, OGT. Off the pen.
Nice. Portmanteau. It's my new name, Paul Manto.
Paul, what's the next thing that happens in our format?
We do the one better thing.
The one better thing?
Yes, the one better thing.
Don't mind if I do. The one better thing.
I was initially thinking Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind. It has a lot to say about man's relationship with nature and overreaching grasp and so on and so forth. But I think for something more recent, and we will get into Nausicaa at some point, maybe, I'm going to go with Star Wars The Force Awakens. It has a lot of similarities to Airbender, the last Avatar, and it came off the back of a hugely successful series and had to appease those fans as well as appealing to new fans. In terms of the plot, we have the evil empire that's destroyed civilizations and crushed rebellions, but as rebellions are built on hope and soft squishy human bodies, there is a resistance in those places you would care to look. All it needs is the right spark. And I'm mixing metaphors here, but The Force Awakens really is the story of a rebellion done quite well. Unlike Airbender, Last Avatar, it kept its focus, it gave the right amount of time to the right storylines, and it successfully had a sequel. that some people really, really liked. We've spoken about it.
Most people really, really liked.
And we've spoken about it a lot, but it's just a wonderful film with great effects, acting, and comedy beats that make up the world that we know as Middle-earth.
Yeah. It's very confusing, the current landscape. I'm pretty sure Middle-earth is the only fucking reality that isn't owned by Disney at the moment, so that's the one crossover that won't be coming soon.
Let's keep it that way, everyone.
Let's keep the Disney out of the Middle-earth. Anyway, my one is Kubo and the Two Strings. An absolutely gorgeous animated film from animation giant Leica, the makers of Coraline and Box Trolls and Paranorman. That's one of my favourites. And Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yeah.
It's about a boy who has the ability to animate origami with his music and maybe more. I mean, maybe his music can do more. I don't mean he can animate origami with maybe more of him.
Oh.
Maybe
I'm not interested then.
Fuck this. Fake news. He undertakes a magical adventure to put to rest a vengeful spirit by collecting some magical relics. It's a sublimely beautiful film that feels like it preempted Coco and Moana in some of its story beats and some of its sort of messages. But I don't feel like it gets the same recognition as those two because of the Mouse House.
Yeah.
Leica's The Coraline House. It has a similar superpower quality to Avatar and a young protagonist who messed up and is trying to make amends. And it's set in Japan, so it has the whole Asian cultural appropriation thing going on. Also, like The Last Airbender, it stars a whole bunch of white folk. Specifically, Charlize Theron, Ralph Fiennes, Rooney Mara, the super white George Takei, and Matthew McConaughey as George Clooney.
Stealth is my middle name.
They're all great. They're all really beautiful and brilliant and have fantastic chemistry with each other. And it's just brilliant. It's a film about storytelling and family in a gorgeous art style with lots of humour, exciting action sequences, and really tender character moments. And it is, as I said, from the people who did Coraline, so it is very scary. Yeah. So you can traumatise your children with it. And if you don't have children, find some.
Go on. Get him. Get that one over there, licking that ice cream. He's distracted.
It's fat. Get it. It's distracted and fat. Get it.
Now you've got it. Watch Kubo and the Two Strings and feel love and joy with your new son,
Fat
Benji.
Fat boy.
Fat Benji.
Oh, fuck. I love you, Fat Benji.
I thought I wouldn't, but I really love you, Fat Benji.
And I told myself I wouldn't.
Not this time.
Not again.
But I'd die for you, Fat Benji.
Oh no. The One Better Thing. Thank you for listening to One Good Thing.
Yeah, thanks so much, everyone. We're getting close to 100. If you want to share the enjoyment or message and go, who are you guys? One of you's a definite twat. Then you can do that on Twitter and Facebook, ogtpod. You can send us an email at ogtpod@gmail.com. Follow us on... No, don't. It's the wrong verb. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, and YouTube, where all the podcasts come out and you can hear the magical tales of Fat Benji. How's it going to conclude? It isn't. That's it, everyone. No
the
more.
Saga of Fat
It
Benji.
was beautiful as it was. Don't ruin it. But there will be more magical japes similar to that. In fact, almost identical, but with a different name, so as to give the illusion of difference. On all those platforms I just mentioned, if you haven't done it yet, leave a review on iTunes. Coming up to the 100th episode, it would be really amazing if we got a few more. Get us a bit more noticed. Get us a bit more, you know. A bit more sexed, socially speaking. Paul, Screen Mayhem?
Yep, Screen Mayhem. You can get all the reviews, all the latest stuff. There's so many films coming out this December. It's obscene. So find out what they are and which ones are worth avoiding. Spoiler alert, there's Robin Hood.
You say that Robin Hood spoiled it long ago.
Oh, fucking...
I'll kill you.
Fucking Russell Crowe. I'm Russell Crowe.
I'm Russell Crowe.
And remember, the one good thing about Avatar Fat Benji is those few times when you open yourself up to love, and what you get is a whole truckload more than you thought you would.